Well, hello people, and welcome back to part 2 of Foundation 1.0. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm thoroughly enjoying this game at the moment, been playing tons off camera. And today, in our Let's Play world, I'd like to work on establishing a baseline supply of resources to help keep our serfs happy, and then we can start moving into some other things as well. So first things first, we have a ton of trees around here at the moment, so I would like to begin clearing them out across multiple spaces. So I'm going to take my forester and take them out of work for the moment. I don't want them to be planting these trees right now. Eventually we will have a proper forest district, but for the time being I just want my woodcutters to take all of this down, because we want houses here eventually. And now I also want to do the same over here. Now we were hunting, but animals are really sparse over this side of the map, and they're much denser over here. So I think we'll use that as an excuse to unlock a new tile. I'm going to entirely remove this hunting district here. We're also going to delete our hunter's hut for the time being. And then we're going to bring this over here and build it as part of our little industrial yard that's beginning to build up in this area. And then we also want to buy that new territory, which is this one right here. Let's get those hunting districts painted out straight away. Should be able to catch quite a few of these. It'll really prop up our meat supply going forward as well. And then with the wood cutting, essentially following that line there, I want all this forest to go. And then we can expand here today as well. We have some advice over in our storage camp. Buying resources, let's ask our neighbours. We have run out of tools, we have indeed, so we will need to buy them. That was come into our resources tab. Take a look at the trade routes. We can buy tools from Northbury, which is quite tidy. So let's do that. Let's come into our resources. Tools are really important, something I actually want to try and get set up today as well. So let's buy until 20, let's say. Let's always try keep 20 in there. And then for the time being, we're currently selling meat above 30. Don't mind doing that. Are they buying meat as well? They are buying meat for 3. Polished stone is also something I want to get set up today. Cool, so we have that over there. Let's also get another lumber camp going in this forest as well, because I want all of this cleared out today. Might even build a sawmill over here. Then we can process into planks directly over here, and we'll find somewhere to store it at the same time. With our granary, we're also not storing any boar here either. I'm going to do that as well. And now let's come into our progression tree. So really want to focus on our common path today, getting clothing sorted, and particularly stonemasons too. We're going to grab stonemasons, and then we're a few coins short of clothing just yet, but we'll be able to do that no problem. So we have our stonecutters camp here. Kind of want to move this over just a little bit. We'll get our first building set up first though. So we want the stonemason hut. Again, this is a dirty, polluted building. You can see the brown stain around the edge of it. I want to have this over here again, where we've got a lot of that dirty industry. Why don't we line this up, perhaps behind our sawmill maybe. Something like that. Sounds like a lot of fun. And there we go. Let's build the stonemason hut. We also just got to tune up for taxing a villager, although we have already done that. A merchant comes to our lord's manor. What do you want? Very generous of you. No, we're going to be importing our own tools. We don't need to loan them. They will eventually come back in. Let's also get a stonemason in here as well. He is waiting for those tools to come in, so we'll have to wait for the trade before that happens. But we can actually set up the trade already for them. So let's come into our resources, and I want polished stone to begin selling as well. So sell everything above the value of 20 again. And we will need a lot of polished stone eventually for when we build our monastery, which is going to sit right up here, but we've got quite a ways to go yet before I want to get involved in the monastery. We do have some advice here. We can assign a tax collector, which we've already done, and have a monthly profit. Yeah, we can increase taxation. What are we currently taxing them at? Let's have a little look here. I think maybe we can even up the commoners as well. That minus 25% happiness on tax seems to be my sort of general success rule with taxation at the moment. I would also like a bailiff as well, just because we'll get to use some of the mandates then, especially prospecting for ore, which is going to be quite important down the line. I'd also like to build a graveyard as well. There's a lot on the on the to-do list today for Foundation. Let's also mark up all this as we'll put in area 2. I want all these to come down really. We've also got another house upgrading here too. These guys have light fortifications now. Just paved roads to bring them up next time, but otherwise all very good. I want to design a rustic church also, kind of graveyard for the church today, which we'll get into. But pretty much everything has ground to a halt until we get those tools coming in. Which we just gotta wait for a trader. Here he is. He should bring us something in a minute. And, let's also take some new workers too, because we're going to need them for these new production chains that are going to happen today. Fantastic. So our stone mason hut is now having stone delivered to it, which in turn will deliver polished stone, which will allow us to do some more work on the church, alongside building the monastery when we eventually get that. And then also not forgetting we are selling our polished stone, anything above 20 should also be fine. So we're really going to rely on trade for a lot of our income. I wouldn't mind also getting this one unlocked as well. What can we sell here? Polished stone again. Let's do that. Bread and clothes are also excellent money makers from what I found in 1.0. So I would love to begin introducing the clothes supply chain too, which is going to be a basic need as well. So we could do, again, tooling's really good. Tools are so important. Your construction essentially grinds to a halt if you don't have tools. But I'm going to get clothing first because I can use this to make more money to buy tools, is what I'm going with at the minute. Wonderful. So let's come into our clothing supply. We have goods production. First of all, we have a sheep farm. Now where could we put this? We'll probably need new territory for this, I imagine. This one here is most ideal. I'll have to wait for a bit more money to come in there. I'm also going to set this woodcutters up as well now with 3 people. And we're also going to get 2 carpenters working in the sawmill. And with all this area ready for woodcutting, we can start to get some more housing out here around our Lord's Manor at some point too. I'm also going to spend some of our labour splendour here too by grabbing the treasury, the Manor House Village Architecture Pack, and the tier 2 labour privilege too. We might also grab the tavern as well, but we won't be using that for a little bit because beer is not till tier 2 common pathway, and our citizens don't really want beer yet. It's more for the common citizen once we start to upgrade them. We get a bunch of new building parts with that, which I'd love to explore. Did also mention I want to build a bit of a graveyard as well for the rustic church. Let's come into this. So we can place wooden cross, which gives us the exact same amount of splendour. But this one requires a tool, which I really don't want to spend because they're quite an important resource, at least not yet anyway. So let's go for a regular wooden cross, and I want to build a little bit of a graveyard here. So I guess you can see where they're walking there. Let's kind of use that as a bit of a natural boundary. Let's also hold shift too so we can place multiple. Let's see if we can construct a little graveyard here. You know, see, polished stone is also used a lot for this other stone grave stuff as well, but I think why we're such a small little hamlet, I'm happy to go with the little wooden cross graves. Do a few rows of these. Alright, I'm happy with that. And then, supposed to be saving money for a new territory, but Rose Pergola is very tempting. Try and stay away from the expensive stuff. Oh, that Rose Pergola would be very nice though. Alright, it's fine. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna wait off camera. It's okay. And then I would also like to build a fence as well using our fence tool. Did we unlock fence 2 actually? We did not, which is also another 25 gold, so I'll just need to wait for another taxation day to get that. We did also just unlock some privileges, which might be of use to us, so we can go down the labour privilege and let's see what we can do. Trade price of 10% increase from those with labour allegiance. It's not too bad. The residential taxation happiness effect is decreased by 25%, that's not too bad. But every time you trade with a village of 1 labour, what are our current trade partners aligned with? These guys are labour. And so are these actually, so that's a really good policy for us. Let's bring in a trade price bonus of 10% of those with labour allegiance. I'm going to be quite happy with that, I think. You unlock more of these, I believe, via the tech trees. So I think we get there another tier 3 labour privilege there. So nice little buffs that we can apply to the settlement. Cool. So we've acquired enough money now to unlock village fencing, which I did not do last episode surprisingly enough, but the fence tool in Foundation is glorious, falls on a common decoration. We get a village fence and we can build it up a number of things here. I think for a little graveyard fence, I'd be quite happy with some hedging, I think. So I want to draw this from edge of the builder there. And then I think we'll have another one. And then pretty much a similar thing around this side as well. There is a way, I think, to remove the bend from fencing, but I appear to have forgotten it. I'll have to check the shortcuts. But otherwise, we can make do with it just by placing it individually. Now we can have a little hedge around our graveyard, which I think will be such a nice little point of interest as well for the village to grow up around. We did discuss a bailiff's office as well, didn't we? Let's have a little look at this. We've got some brand new buildings up here as well. Isn't this fun? Very cool. Either way, we need to add a new building on, and wouldn't mind a treasury. We're not hitting the max cap yet, so a treasury is not super important, but a bailiff office absolutely is. So I want to go ahead and grab what building should we put him in? Should we build him his own little tower? Kind of the bailiff's tower, if you like. I think that might be quite fun, right? How about we stick him over in the corner here? Make him a touch bigger. So change the roof colour there. He also wants a doorway too, so let's give him a simple entrance. Build all of that, and then we can start to employ a bailiff. Which means we can work with our mandates. We could also do a quick levy against the villagers. They're really happy. Too happy if you ask me. It'd only be a temporary sadness, won't it? We could do that. It has to be done. You want clothes on your back? Then I'm afraid it has to be done. Cool, so let's get the supply chain set up. We're going to open this new territory. And then we're going to come into goods production. We want to grab a sheep farm. And let's put this on the edge over here. That seems pretty special. And get that built. We'll then also want a weaver's hut, again, which is an upfront cost. We can't quite... yeah, I feel like the guy from Game of Thrones, you know, where he's like, can the treasury bear such expense?
Can the treasury bear such expense?
Kind of feel like that at the minute, running these people. And then we also want the weaver's hut too, which again, I wouldn't mind having as part of the town centre. Is that gonna... I feel like that's gonna block people's way, isn't it? Now, I do actually have eventual visions for a bridge to come across to this island where we'll build our castle in a future episode. So with that in mind, I probably don't actually want any buildings here. So let's move the weaver's hut next to the bakery. And we'll spin it around. Just make it part of our village centre here, right? Something like that. Should be pretty nice. We'll have that there. Are we going to need... We probably will need some workers actually, although we do have a ton of woodcutters at the minute, so we will eventually be removing them. But I think maybe an extra worker or two just for this new sheep supply chain that's about to kick in would be quite welcome. Should be able to get another bout of money here because we've got Northbury on their way in. And then we can begin to set these up. If we want to celebrate our labours again, raise village happiness to 55 within 21 days. Should be able to do that. They're only below that now because we had to levy the coins, but that will fade over time. Should be okay. That'll give us a nice little buff with our happiness. We also just get Common Path Tier 3 as well, which unlocks a few stuff for us. We've got improved stonemason in here, new decoration, but not rich enough really yet. I really want to kind of spend the initial second episode of getting this stuff established. Which we're not actually too far from being able to do clothing now, but we did actually just not the upgrade I wanted. So let's grab storage improvements. Really good upgrade. So when we come into our storages now, we can edit the building and add a new depot onto these things, which is fantastic. So again, you're going to be... I kind of want to destroy that person's house. It's but then again, it actually might sit and fit. And you just want to make sure that you can actually access the entrances with these. Otherwise it should be okay. So when they're built, these will have, I'm going to make that priority as well, 4 extra slots down here. Which means we can now store the new supply chains that are going to arise from us making clothes. So make sure we can get this sheep farm too. Let's make this a priority also. We can also do the same for the granary, although we won't be having any new food sources introduced until we do farming, which could probably be today as well. Okay, so we can add another granary depot here, which is so cool. So let's make this, if the entrance is there, just have this across the street, somewhere like there. Super, so our sheep farm has been built. Let's go ahead and add in 2 workers. And then we also want to paint pasture for this as well now. So very similar to how the crop fields work. Just want to paint out an area until the game tells us it's a decent enough size. Which is quite an area actually, isn't it? Still too small. Still too small. Holy smokes. There we go. Now it's adequately sized. The big old sheep farm. Super. But that's going to change that to pasture. There go the sheep. We don't need to import them or anything. And then back over here, now this is done, we want to store wool, and we also want to store clothes. We need to build a goods market too, because we're going to need to sell these clothes. But let's complete the clothing chain first. This building I want to go up next, because I want the weaver's hut to be done. And then there was one more from this production chain we're missing, isn't there? Yes, Taylor's Workshop. Which again has another 50 gold upfront cost, so we can't place that just yet, but we could eye up a space for it. How about at the back of the Taylor's hut or something? That's going to encroach upon our stone there. I don't really want to do that. Okay, let's just have it next door then. I'm happy with that. That should go perfectly there. Now we'll just wait until we can buy that. And then beyond that we can also have a look at setting up a new market for them. Did we buy goods market? We don't. We do need to get that though, so that's another 50 gold we need to spend there. So let's just allow the city to tick along. They do have some traders coming in, but they should buy some stuff here. There we go. He just bought some meat, so we can instantly afford that now. I am going to get that upgrade first actually. I want the goods market. So now when we come to build a market, we have goods stalls. And I guess we could put it around here, right? We'll also have our bread over here at some point too. So as long as it's accessible from one point, it should be okay. That seems pretty good there. Let's give it another little hut. We can also have a good sign outside too. Fantastic. And do you want to do any more decoration? You shouldn't really, although some provisional babbles always go down well, don't they? There's yeah, you can have some provisional barrels, sure. Have them over here. Cool. And then that costs 55 to build, but we can build that once we have that money coming in. Our weaver's hut is also done as well now, so let's bring someone into there. So we just got the Delighted Visitors buff. Our fair is about to complete. That bumps us up to 90% happiness now. Which will give us this little reward down here for completing the fair as well. We just need to be above 75% happiness for that to complete. We also have a bailiff now as well. Very well, wonderful. Everyone happy with that? Yeah, I wouldn't mind assigning a bailiff. So there's a few people that are eligible. Happiness is less impacted by 30%. We all do the same thing. I guess it doesn't really matter then, does it? Any of you will do. Very well. We now have a bailiff, which means we can execute some things down here now. Something really nice to do is to improve these trade routes. We need 50 bread to improve the Northbury one. And then in terms of the other one, what was it? So we just need to increase the volume of resources stored on this one. We can do polished stone and clothes to these guys, plus bread as well when we eventually produce that. But either way, we can focus on getting Northbury upgraded first once we do start to get some bread. Got that village market too. It seems to have come in now. And when this market shows up, we can give them... Well, these guys are also producing cloth, aren't they? Are we storing this here? Well, no, let's do that as well. The wool, common clothes, and cloth are all being stored now, which is important for the supply chain. Let's also put on a market tender who is selling clothes when they eventually get produced. Via this building here, which we still need to build as well. 139% happiness, holy smokes. Everyone loves living here, which is good to see. Let's have a look at the zone in here. Yeah, I'm happy with how this little bit has developed. You can see they're actually using the pagoda to come and go there, aren't they? That's very cool. I do like that. I like our little church. I don't mind actually building maybe a little bit more fence outside, perhaps. Maybe let's do a little stretch of fence there. And maybe one more just here. I think so. Are these trees in a woodcutting zone? They are. We will eventually get taken down. I like how people are kind of passing in and around the church here. It'd be cool if they use this little bit down here. But I guess they just don't want to path that way, do they? It definitely seems the kind of desire line pathing is a little more less accurate than it was in the previous versions of Foundation. Hopefully that'll be patched to be a bit nicer as the game grows up. Also just had a nice tasty deal arrive at the Lord's Manor for some gold and influence for a bit of wood. Which we'll do. That just needs to be within storage facilities, doesn't it? Let's go ahead and complete our clothing chain with the tailor's workshop. That can now get built. We can also begin to sell that clothing as well. We will sell everything above the value. I'm running with 20 at the minute. It seems to be a decent barometer for most things. So we'll go with that for right now. We'll be able to start selling those common clothes once we have some workers in here. Fantastic news. Hope you're enjoying Foundation 1.0 as well, everyone there. Nice to see so many people just embracing such a wonderful game when we posted our first episode last week. Seems there's a lot of people excited to play this game finally. I'm really liking how our village is developing here as well. Everything kind of centered around this church. I really can't wait to build the monuments in future episodes. As I mentioned, we'll do the castle on this island. This island is its own territory. So I think the castle would look fantastic here. I do have a villager path blocked. You could not reach your destination, could you not? Why? Oh, is that because there's a wood cutting area in the water? Is that why you're trying to cut those branches down, are you? I think you are, right? Yeah. That should be fine though. They're really starting to make a dent over here now. And they've still got a fair bit of ways to go. Yeah, they've cleared that forest, that tree from the middle there as well. Which is very, very cool. And they're not walking in this middle bit, which is really what I was intending them to do, but it's fine. Yeah, let's have 2 tailors working in here. You guys just want the cloth, which we currently have being produced here. I'm actually going to get 2 people working to produce the cloth, because then we're going to want to make sure there's clothes are plenty for sale and at the market. You guys are missing raw materials, are you? How are we doing for hunting space then? Yeah, I mean, you've still got plenty of room here. Guess we are also selling some meat as well, aren't we? How about we make that sale a little bit higher than on that threshold? So with the meat, sell everything above the value of 50. Let's give ourselves a little bit more headroom for that to feed our citizens first before we start to sell it. Missing raw materials, that's fine. That'll come in as... Are we okay there? We had a bit of a glitched pasture. Can we repaint that? Sort of. It's a bit strange. It's okay though. We'll look past it. I want a fence as well for my sheep. So why don't we do a village fence, which we're going to have to build in shorter segments again. We'll have the stone one this time, I think, which we've got plenty of stone to burn, so no problem. We can also confirm the delivery of logs as well now, which is wonderful. It gives us a nice tasty little boost, which we can use to pop open the rest of tier 2 here. So we're going to do tooling and farming. Lumber camp improvements aren't really needed yet. Lumber's such an abundant resource, so we don't really need to worry about that. And another villager path blocked. Where is it? The woodcutters? It is. What, you guys can't... But you can't get down the slope, can you? Is that what's it? I think it probably is, isn't it? Let's trim off our wood cutting areas here now. All this can be sliced back. I've actually cleared a fair bit of forest here now, haven't we? So let's just keep our districts tidy where we can. Cool, so with our bailiff, I wouldn't mind actually getting you to start prospecting some mineral sites. There's one over here. Start prospecting that. Because then we can stop spending money on importing tools and just have our own being produced locally. And then in terms of farming, which again, bread's going to be another... You've got another villager path blocked. It's you're blocked. Why? Is that just a bug? Are you having difficulty reaching a particular tree around here? It's this guy that keeps getting blocked over here. Well, he's alright for the time being, I suppose. And you guys have made really good progress over here too, haven't you? Fantastic. And I wouldn't mind another storage unit out here. New families, probably alright just yet. That stone wall's going up now too, isn't that cool? Again, a note to all the city builders about how Foundation handles its farming, fields and fences. It's just a pleasure to work with, isn't it? Ton of fun. Yes, more food production. We can do a wheat farm. So there's no fertility mechanic in Foundation. It does not care for it. I also wouldn't mind another lumberjack over here, you know. Though currently you guys shouldn't really have too much left to do. Where are you? Yeah, you're about to run out of trees to cut. I'll tell you what then, we shouldn't need a new lumber camp. We'll just use these guys over here. Let's just tell them that this is all now available for cutting down too. And they'll come and take it for us. Another territory here in the not too distant future would be quite nice. We're also getting those clothes come through now as well. They should be appearing on the store. Yes, they are. And I'm pretty sure we need clothes to unlock another trade route, don't we? If I can glance back to my royal book. Yeah, here. Oh no, it's bread, sorry. Oh no, sorry, this one's clothes, yeah. And we can sell clothes and fish to them. We can also do another one down here. Which I'm not making any of this stuff, but we might as well take it anyway. Although we probably won't be buying too much from them. Cool, so I'm going to remove this woodcutting district now and pretty much just have this match up with the forester's hut, although again it's likely come further tiles opening up, this entire industrial area here will probably relocate somewhere else. And then I want to make all this stuff here residential. Up to a point anyway, because we do have some I'm going to run a fence through here actually, just so I know that kind of one side is dirty industry there. And use that to separate the residential district. Cool. We just need one more coin, and then we can grab a new territory. I think I'm going to grab this one here. And then we can do some farming in this space. Yep, they're starting to cut down those trees now as well. There's that new money. Let's go ahead and do that. New territory, and let's get these new production chains working. So we want... Oh, there's the iron mining stuff. We won't be doing that just yet. So we want a wheat farm. Now, I found that 2 wheat farms will generally support 1 windmill. So you're looking at a 2-to-1 ratio. So let's see if we can perhaps blend these together. Let's have one there. And then I wouldn't mind another one kind of just next door to it. And we need to wait for 50 gold to place these, but that's okay. Now, if we can make them look like part of the same farm, I'd be a bit happier with that. And these work exactly the same as the sheep farms once they're built. We just paint that pasture, and then whatever workers are assigned there, they'll begin to farm that land, if you like. So we've got loads more trees to cut down over here too. We are wary of kind of running out of trees since we've stopped reforesting, but as we expand, there's still so much more, especially as we move up this hill. With all these territories, there's so much more trees to take up here, so... I feel like, honestly, you don't really need to set up the forest camp as early as I have. You can probably wait a little bit for it. But it's kind of up to you, really, if you want to do that. Depends how optimized, I suppose, you want to be in Foundation. Yeah, let's wait for our farms to be built here. There's one of them. So here goes one farm. Let's get 2 farms in here. They want to paint out the crop field. So let's go for... kind of lean it over this side if we can. Try and fill the shape here. You can see where it won't go where there's trees. But again, eventually it will be cut down. It says it's too large. Well, I'll add another one in then. No, it says it's too small. That seems pretty good for me. And I can be very OCD about these zones. Really want to make them perfect, but that's fine. Super. So just like the sheep, once it's done, they'll start planting the crop there. Again, whilst we are introducing a new food source with Foundation, it's important we also allow the storage. So within our granary extension, you will store wheat, you will also store flour, and you will also store bread, which is fantastic. I do have more people arriving. You know what? I'm probably going to need you. Bailiff has found an iron deposit. Wonderful. There's our iron, which is in another territory, so I'll have to wait a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to grab all 4 of you. I'm going to grab you. You guys okay? You guys want increased density as a watch post and a patroller. We will do that in a second. We'll focus on all these guys first. I might even actually delete our foresters camp because we're probably not going to use this again. Let's get rid of it. And more people arriving via trade here. I can see I've got 20 clothes as well, so let's come back to our trade routes. Are you sure? Is that because they're not in storage? No, because they're on the market, isn't it? Okay. Well, you guys stock the maximum. Because I do want those clothes to open the trade route with. And then it was wanting a watch post built at the Great Manor as well, wasn't it? So if we add a new sub-building here. So a watch post is a fortified position for villagers to organise patrols. Okay. We can give essentially what is going to be a barracks, right? Kind of. I guess barracks is in the castle stuff, isn't it? Why don't we have this as a bit of a separate compound, maybe, outside of the Lord's Manor? Could we have it somewhere over here? where the patrols come and go from. How about that? It's a tight bit, but we can sort of make it part of the garden, can't we? I think so. Of course, it wants a door, like most buildings. Let's give them a bit of decoration too. Actually, if these are security, why don't we give them a brazier? Let's have one there. And then one there. Just have to wait for a little bit more money to come through, but besides that, it should be okay. We can build that now, thanks to some trade. And then I believe that the kind of patrol stuff is a new zone. So these people here, yeah, they're going to want patrol coverage as part of their housing density requirement. Same over here too. These guys also don't have beautification over here. But why don't we spend some time detailing them? Let's have a look at common decoration. Is there anything else we want to unlock for common decoration? We can get tier 3 decorative stuff there, but it is another 100 gold, which isn't really the priority right now, is it? We want to get that second farm built too, alongside the windmill. Did kind of get distracted from this production chain, didn't I? Oh, let's complete it then. So we want a windmill as well. Again, which I'm kind of happy to have as part of the farm. How about we have that there? That should be pretty decent. And then the last step in that production chain is the bakery, which again I would love to have as part of the town centre. Let me get you in there, I wonder. I want to save that path route, don't I? I want to make sure I respect a sight line, if you like. And these houses are really in the way now, aren't they? You might actually de-zone them and push them out here a little bit, perhaps. I think we will actually do that. Let's paint out some new housing districts. This wood cutting zone doesn't need to be here anymore. But I am happy to have residential here. And then along here as well. And let's make all this zonable for residential. And I think I am just going to remove this section here. We'll lose 2 houses, but hopefully it will come back in just a slightly different configuration. We can even make this housing district a little bit deeper through here too. Cool. Also don't want to go too close with the housing over here as well, because eventually we'll have this open as an iron mine, and as you can probably imagine, the iron mine's allowed. We can get that second farm built at the same time. We should have enough villagers to cover all this. Oh, damn it, I also want to... Over you. Can we cut down that tree when you get a second, please? I do like Foundation for the way it makes you kind of manage your forestry. You do have to make sure that you're taking a lot of it down, because in games like Manor Lords you can just place a building and it'll take the trees down themselves. In Foundation you have to get the forester to do it, or the woodcutters. I'm going to take another worker. I'm also going to stop the clothes trade just for right now, because I want to use them to pay for the trade route. But beyond that, our initial supplies are really starting to stabilise now. We're starting to get some wheat, which will be ground out in a second. That will give us bread and a second refined food for these people. Here is our watch post as well, so let's add a patroller. Very fun, and now we have a patrolling district. So, yes, I want you to patrol down the main street. Come and check in here. And then I guess patrol up into the town square. And then back along all these houses and catch them with that patrol buff. Yep, and then complete your loop back over here. Cool, so now when we come to click on them, they should have shore coverage, I guess. I guess we'll see where's the person. Let's zoom to them. That's what they have, a little stick. That's so cool. So we can also add watchmen as well. I wouldn't be averse for doing some promotions soon, actually. Very cool. So now they're just going to go on that route that we marked out. And everyone over here. Yeah, they have light patrol coverage now at least anyway. Cool. So we'll probably assign some more patrol people in a second, but I want to get the farm people distributed first. So let's do 2 people in here. And then we'll paint out that crop field as well. Pretty much just have it right next door. And it comes down toward the road too. And then all the way up here. That's adequately sized. Oh, let's leave it at that then. That should be okay. No access to refined food. Yes, you will. Soon, once we can bring the bread to market at least anyway. Also had another trade deal with the elders for 100 wool. I'm absolutely going to do that. We have 75 at the moment, so that should just trickle in over time. 2 more workers. Yes. We'll probably need you. I wouldn't mind another province over here as well. We've got a lot of boar this side of the border. But I don't really want to get too much upkeep with territories just yet. And we have just become a town, which is absolutely wonderful. We're not a new ruler, we are now elder. But growing up quite nicely here now. And we have our windmill being produced. I actually do wonder if maybe we want to have a look at another builder's workshop. Because we're starting to get quite widespread now, aren't we? We can also buy that new trade route as well now. So we can sell clothes, which we will immediately start to do. Yeah, so common clothes, yeah, sell everything above that value now. And what was it we want to sell with them? Yeah, we could do fish now. Fish is also available to trade. But I think I'd rather sell bread, which is what we will do. Super, and there is the windmill. Let's go ahead and put 2 people in this. And they will start to grind that up into flour, which then allows us to complete the production chain with the bakery, which I think we're going to have here, right? Have it right next door to the granary as part of our major town centre district. Oh, we didn't deliver the wall. Oops, that's my bad. I forgot to deliver that. Was it even there as well? Oh, it was too, damn it. I forgot to do that. That's my bad. It's okay. They'll be a little bit annoyed with us for the time being, but it'll pass. It's fine. Super. Yeah, so this will now allow bread to fall into our production chain, which is fantastic. We did store that, didn't we? Yeah, so they're being stored, but it's not being sold at market. I want to edit my original set of markets, and I want to add a new food stall in. Let's have this here next to our clothes store. Let's also give you a cute little red roof. And then how about a little bit of stable detailing down here? Maybe they can park their horse next to the bread. And then again, actually, I'll probably save that for the last market space. I think I will do that, actually. And yeah, I think I'll keep the costs down in terms of detailing. We'll build that bread stand when we can afford it. Fantastic, and there we have our bakery. Let's get 2 people in here. And then our bread stall is also in here now as well, where we will sell bread with another market trader, and that allows another refined food to make it to market. With clothing and farming chains now thoroughly set up, the last of them to bring in would be our tooling method, which will stop us from needing the import of tools, but we're not doing too badly for that right now, to be honest. I wouldn't mind lumber camp improvements as well. It'd be quite a nice upgrade to get. But we've got some decent supply chains set up there. There's some decent money starting to roll in. So let's head towards establishing our last resource. We have some people in the town centre now. I think we're going to buy another territory. Our iron deposit is over here. So let's grab that. Now I'd also like to extend the wood cutting area we were talking about earlier. So these guys have a lot to cut down. All of this needs to go. We have no access to refined food warnings at the moment, although that doesn't take us anywhere, so I'm guessing that's been fixed. We are a little bit low on meat, I think. This is a job best suited to commoners. But yeah, anyway, so we can now set up our production chain. So we're going to an iron mining camp, which will be 25 gold up front, but this will produce iron ore. So once we've used our bailiff to prospect the resource, we can build... I guess we just want it right next door. Again, a mine. It's obviously going to be a polluted building. So we can get that going. Let's get that done. Then next in the chain, we also want a charcoal hut, which will cut trees and produce 1 coal, which we also need for this as well. These guys here are actually right by dirty industry, aren't we? We probably want to not have them there, actually, in hindsight. Are you upset? Nothing to report. You don't seem to care, do you, that you're actually within that pollution radius, but it's okay. We'll wait for them to complain regardless. We'll also need an iron smelter as well, which will produce 1 iron in exchange for 2 coal and 4 iron ore. So this again is super pollutive. Although I guess in hindsight, it's going to make more sense for it to be here, isn't it? I think I'm actually going to remove this particular residential zone. These guys want to live around here. Feel free to come set up shop on this side of the road. Right, we can let this go a little bit further up now. We can decide where they want to live over here. Yeah, so let's delete these homes. Sorry guys, but just a small eviction. Don't worry about it. And then we'll have our iron smelter over here by the sawmill and whatnot. And we can make this a bit of a industrial centre, not too far from our distribution logistics over there as well. Again, very similar to what we did with the food. Now that we have new materials entering our production chain, we also need somewhere to store them. So we'll have to do that as well. Yes, let's get you guys mining, start mining there. And let's get the charcoal hut built too. Yep, that's good. And then the last thing we need is the blacksmith, which will turn them into tools. Once we also have that, they'll also want coal as well. And I guess where do we want this? Should we just have it right next door? I think that's going to make the most amount of sense, isn't it? Let's have that right in there. Superb. So while we wait for some money to trickle in, let's also go ahead and grab more storage logistics as well. Another warehouse. Obviously we've got one right in the centre of town here. I guess with new things entering the production chain, let's have it over here. With room to expand would also be quite tasty as well, like we did with the other one. So why not just line that up pretty much next to our lumber camp there, I think. Wonderful. I also want to make sure this gets done as kind of priority, because I want to be storing the iron as it comes out of the mine. Our charcoal hut is also done now as well. But I want to see what these do. They're going to head to work. They do take a bit of a strange path sometimes. I feel like it was more accurate before 1.0. I reckon they'll patch that at some point, I think. So our charcoal hut people, they arrive, they grab an axe, and they just go straight to a wood cutting zone, I'm guessing. Yes, they do. Perfect. Okay, well you've got plenty of trees to chew through over here for the coming months before we even need to think about a reforester's hut, I think. So that should be okay. Let's also stick a worker in here, and then we can assign the resources. So we'll keep this entirely focused around this production chain here. So we're going to want coal first of all. Then we'll want iron. Then we'll want iron bars. And then eventually you can also, I guess we're also storing tools over here, aren't we? So we're probably alright for tool storage, yet we've still got 800 capacity here, so just half full on this one. So we probably don't need to store that there. In terms of what else we're producing, I mean, what's full over here? Not much at the minute. We could probably go for whatever we've got most of then. I'll need to store a bit more wool over here, sure. We're producing quite a lot of it, aren't we? And you're right by to the sheep farm here as well, so that should be okay. So I think we'll certainly accept a new wave of people as they come in over here. We're getting missing resources at our windmill. I think we're going to take a worker out of the windmill for right now. I wouldn't mind an extra one in this one just so we have 3. But in terms of the bread, we got 61 now. We are selling the bread, aren't we? Let me just double check on that. Bread, no we're not. We can sell it though. Sell everything above the value of 40. Bread is a decent money maker. And in terms of other trade, we can lock this one now for 20. Let's do that because they also buy bread. They'll also buy balls as well. Is there anything we want to buy? We could buy some meat if anyone sells it. Yeah, we could buy balls. They're slightly cheaper than meat. I wouldn't mind doing that, I don't think. Let's come to balls and buy until the inventory reaches the value of 10. Let's start with that and we'll see what happens. I think beyond that we're starting to generally establish a strong sort of baseline of tier 1 resources. Some more workers there, let's get you straight to work. So I think I probably want more charcoal burners, I think. Let's get you guys going. With the trade route person coming down here as well now. So we're going to trim back some of these wood cutting areas here as well. Now that's beginning to get tidied up. We have really cleared a ton of forest in today's episode. Of course there's a ton more to clear as well. Next episode, just as we begin climbing the hill. Someone's arrived at the Lord's Manor. Improving trade with Trotberry. Yes, I would love to. What is it you want? And where's the mandate for that? It's 50 tools for Trotberry trade, is it really? Goodness me. Well, when we get a little bit more bread production, I actually wouldn't mind doing the Northberry trade route first, I think. We're actually very close to being able to do that. It just needs to wait for a little bit more bread. Let's also get these other buildings going down here as well. Iron smelter is next in the chain. And then we can get the blacksmith done after that. What sort of jobs do these guys want? I know I'm kind of conscious we haven't done any promotions just yet. Although we're not really running into any significant issues, but I think maybe we'll start next episode with a round of promotions. I guess we'll see. New people coming in, I'm going to say yes. Because we've got lots of new production chains springing up, so the more tax and more hands we've got, the better. Let's get the last worker in the miners' camp. And I suppose we could do this one as well. I think we will, yeah. Let's get another person working the charcoal hut. It looks like that mandate is ready now. I cannot afford the upfront cost. Is that because we're... I bet it's not in the granary, is it? No, it's not. That's fine. We'll wait for that to tick over then. We've got another villager path blocked again. It's this guy over here. It's the woodcutter, isn't it? Although his path isn't blocked. He's absolutely fine. So I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, I really like the front of our Lord's Manor here now with the braziers at the front. Very intimidating, isn't it? I wouldn't mind kind of redrawing the fence as well. It's a little bit janky around here, isn't it? We'll have a look at that in a second. We have this one up now as well. So yeah, this is a commoner that wants to work here, really. In terms of actually supplying those commoners, why don't we have a look at some decoration? Because a lot of the houses around here, they all want the beautification area, and since we've got this little spot here, I reckon this would be a good spot to help bring some detailing up. So let's do common decoration. Let's see what we can make here. So we could do kind of a big tree, I guess, right? Let's have maybe a few of these in the middle. Which ones do we have? We've got a young oak planter. Okay, let's have that in the middle. And let's perhaps place some benches around this. They all give one beautification, so I don't think it really matters which one, does it? Let's do a backrest bench, sure, why not? And can we have that there? The arrow is red, which means usually they can't access it, unless that's different for detailing, I'm not sure. Let's place 4 of these around them. We'll see if we can make a bit of a town plaza here to increase the level of the local homes. Love that they use the props. Does it make a difference? Wish City Skylines had that. Just being able to have Sims use benches that you place. Goodness me. There we go. So that's already satisfied these guys' beautification area. They want light fortification too. In terms of fortification for this area, I mean, I could try and draw fence around the outside. I'm not really sure how well this will work though. I just want to try and draw that and see if that actually hits their light fortification criteria. Otherwise, you might need a watchtower. I'm not entirely sure on that one. Cool, I love that. We're using our little tree planter bench now. Let's see what else we can give them. Realise I'm supposed to be spending money on my iron production, but hedges first. We have a hanging lantern post, absolutely. Let's have one there. And then another one. Let's say over here, wait. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so do you get the no. So house needs to be within a light fortification area. Make sure to place buildings nearby that provide light or heavy fortification to fulfill this. Okay, maybe it has to be an enclosed space then with the village fortifications. I'm guessing it probably does. Although I kind of don't mind that there actually. Maybe we can run that all the way around the edge. I guess we'll see. But either way, my point being is this should begin to support commoner residences with the detailing for when we eventually do promote those people. And we can build this now as well. That's the last one in our chain. And we should start to see this stocking up now. Yeah, so we got coal. Iron ore should be on its way. Yes, it is. And then we've also got a wall in here as well. Cool. So we'll wait for our blacksmith to produce. We're also getting some more houses over here now as well, which is great. These will likely remain serfs this far out of the city centre. I guess we'll see what happens with them. Rust missing raw materials, are you sure? I think there's a bit of a bug here, is there? The same missing raw materials, but they have 17 wheat, so you're not missing your raw materials. It's fine. And 70% happiness and 2 more workers, absolutely. I want to continue to buff up this tool production chain, and for which we can now turn off trade. Let's actually not forget to do that. Yeah, so tools, which are definitely the more expensive of the things to import, no longer buy until the inventory reaches that, because we will be producing our very own tools. And yeah, definitely want to have a look at getting the bridge too. I guess you could do that now actually. Let's buy that. And I just want to see how that works. So if I want to grab a wooden village bridge and say I want it to go from here to here. Obviously we don't have that territory yet. But that's my vision for the castle, right? Is I'll have my village pathway here. And then they'll come across over here. There we have a notification here. Wonderful, first tools forged. A happiness bonus of 10% for villagers with the village profile. And again, best suited to commoners, so definitely next episode I think we'll get started with some upgrades for all these commoner jobs that we've introduced this episode. I've also just remembered that these iron camps here are for the little iron nodules, aren't they? How are you? You're mining an iron source, aren't you? Oh yeah, there's one here. Yeah, they're over there. Yeah, yeah. So for the iron mines, we also need to set up an edit building here, because they have the iron quarries that need to be built onto them. We can snap these onto some little nodules here. Have that on there. We'll also get an extra bit of labour splendour with the medium crane, and then we'll also put down the cart as well. Put some of our resources here, and then let's also do the small crane. Again, like I've been doing with all our other kind of industries, so I wouldn't mind having this. So it's positioned kind of as part of the same yard, if you like. Maybe there. Sure. So that'll build up, so that'll bring much more iron into our production chain. That'll help us keep these guys stocked. Yeah, I'd totally forgotten about that. So if you're going to place the iron camp, these guys just mine the iron nodules. It's you need to build on these. I wouldn't actually mind getting, because I think we'll probably end up doing quite a lot of trade with the iron stuff, both bars and tools. So if we were to have a look at who's going to buy them, we can sell coal and iron swords to Castle Harbour, and tools to Middle, or Midle, I guess how we're going to pronounce that. Okay, I think we are going to do that then. Do we have our bailiff available? We do. There's another mineral deposit. There's one right next door to the one we've already got. So let's go ahead and pay for that to be prospected as well. So I think I want to follow quite heavily into the iron industry. And then with these two miners, I think we're going to take them both out. And then we will put two of them back into here, I think. Might actually just leave one working in this mine. Because I guess that little trickle of iron is probably better than nothing, but we'll rely on the node anyway for the bulk of our iron resource. We've seen this too. This is an incredibly cute little detail. So when the bailiff comes out to prospect the rocks, he hammers it with a little pickaxe, as if he's actually prospecting the rocks. What a just brilliantly cool little detail that is, right? So fun. Love that they also have little different costumes as well, based on their jobs. I guess outfit, doesn't it, rather than costumes. But we can now extract mass iron from our iron node at least. And hopefully the one next door is also iron, so we can double up that production eventually. And fantastic, we now have coal and iron beginning to stockpile in the nearby warehouse. Whilst the blacksmith and the smelter are also staying stocked, which is wonderful. Which pretty much achieves what we wanted to do today, just kind of stabilise that tier 2 common path. Which puts us in a much better position for going ahead and exploring some further things as we head down these trees. Would really like to start a castle or a monastery next, that would be a lot of fun. But most things here ticked off today. We'll also grab the lumber camp improvements while we have the spare money. We won't need to place them, like I said, we have pretty strong lumber production at the minute. Especially now with the charcoal hut is also contributing to the mass deforestation of the lands, which is giving us much more buildable area. But everyone's happy, we're making some decent money, and we've got that initial kind of supply of resources established now. Otherwise guys, that'll do for today. A massive shout out to the patrons that help support these videos, with a royal call to our golden eggs: Andrew Perez, Louis Adlam, O'Hay Casino, Phoenix MD, and Bad Wolfo. If you want to get involved in that, links to Patreon and Instant Gaming, where there's also a giveaway every month, are down below. So check them out if you're interested in supporting the channel. And I hope you've managed to enjoy the second episode of our wonderful Foundation 1.0 series. I'm thoroughly enjoying this game at the moment. Really enjoying the simulation too. The production chains in this game are a lot of fun to play with. They're really fleshed out. And I just love the whole systems behind Foundation. If you haven't checked it out, it's still on sale for 2 weeks after launch. So if you've been kind of on the fence of picking it up, now is really the best time to, whilst it is on sale. Any tips and advice, please leave them in the comments below. I'm always happy to take on board what you guys have to say, and I think next episode we'll open up some more tiles and begin heading up to the hill or an eventual monastery. I think might be a lot of fun. Or the castle. Maybe let me know what you want to see first, castle or monastery. I'm undecided. there's a lot to get stuck into here. Either way, let's thank you all so much indeed for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day.